So now I have to do the tune-up on this old Buick LeSabre. This is a 2004. She's just a beautiful car inside and out. She has no rust on her. She's been garage kept her whole life. She's been maintained well. Just a beautiful one. Don't see too many of these in this good of shape. But this one had an ignition coil fail, and an ignition control module also failed on this coil. So I put one on from that I just get from the junkyard. I keep some in stock. I put an ignition control module and a coil on it, just to get them going. But I told him it's probably time for a tune-up when those start failing. I mean, they can just fail, but a lot of times it's time for a tune-up. Now this one has some aftermarket premium silicone wires on it. They don't feel too terribly bad, but we're just going to go ahead and replace those. This is the Series 238. It has the plastic upper intake manifold. Sometimes these fail, and you have to watch out for that because it will mix coolant with your oil. So you always check your oil on these, but this one looks perfectly fine. I've done like a water pump. I've done the coolant elbows off of that tensioner on it, and just kind of kept her, maintained. She is just a little bit low on coolant, but that after I did the coolant elbows the last time, I would expect that to kind of stabilize out and get a little lower. I filled it up to about right here, and now it's down here. So we'll go ahead and fill that up to the cold level and see if it stays there. And the next time I look at it, and she just wants me to look it over and make sure it's good to go for winter, make sure it doesn't need anything. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the tune-up. I tune these up all the time. These front plugs are easy to get to. Back ones are not so much fun. I got the genuine AC Delco plugs for it. I got Delphi wires, and just because I couldn't find any AC Delco wires, and so they were out of stock. So I got Delco wires, and I got the Wells vehicle electronics ignition control module and coil packs. Wells is a great company. They look at OEM products and they figure out if it needs any improvement, and they improve them. So like this ignition control module, if you have a coil short out on it, it doesn't necessarily, won't blow the ignition control module. It has the circuitry in it to shut that down automatically, and it comes back. Where a lot of times the OEM ones and the cheap Chinese ones, you blow an ignition control module, then it blows the, or you blow a coil and it blows the ignition control module. So we'll get all that on there and get started. Alright, so I got the Wells ignition coils. This is the Wells ignition control module. It comes with these little things that go down in here, and it comes with a new one of these that go in your connector to protect it. It comes with these ignition coils, and I got me a new tube of dielectric grease at the AutoZone. It's like AutoZone sucks so bad because you just want to go up and buy a tube of grease or buy your part, and you have to wait 20 minutes on people like, I need a coil for such and such, or I need this, or I need that. And it's like some guy bought a map sensor. It was like $79. I'm like, holy crap, you're actually spending that much money. It's so much more convenient to just order your stuff online and it shows up in a couple of days than it is to go up to AutoZone and wait in line. And then as soon as you think they're going to wait on you, somebody gets on the phone. And then they're like, oh, what kind of car do you have? Blah, blah, blah. And you have to wait on that. It's just crazy. But I'm going to cut out some of these numbers and number these coil packs, just because the aftermarkets don't come numbered like the factory ones, and it's handy to have the numbers. So the 6 goes back here. And the 3 goes up here. Now, it does not matter if you did 6 and 3 and 3 and 6. Like whichever one, these both fire at the same time. One just fires on your exhaust stroke. It's called a waste spark system. But I'll just put them in the same order they are on the old factory coils. Number 3. There's our number 2. And our number 5. There's down here. Okay, so that gets those labeled. So now we're going to pull off the old ones. Okay, so now we're just ready to pull these wires off. This coil's a little bit loose. I didn't get it all the way tight, I guess. And the ignition control module, if it'll come out. There, okay. Come on. Somebody did not put any dielectric grease on these. So. There. Okay. Those are off. And this fires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you need a 5.5 millimeter socket. There's a standard size that fits it too. I forget what size it is. 7/32 or something. 5.5 fits it fine. And we just take all these screws out. And we can take that module off. You don't have to take the modules off. You can just leave them all sit on here, but it's just a little easier to get to the next one if you pull it off. Okay. Now we got those off, and now we have to get us a 8 millimeter and take that off. Oh no, that's smaller than an 8. This is an 8. Yeah, let me try. Nope. There, it's a 6. Okay. Look at that. That'll unplug. And it has that green connector that we have to put in the new one. So now what I like to do is clean this off, this metal surface. This is your heat sink. This is what allows the ignition control module to sink its heat back, right? So you want to make sure those surfaces are good and clean. So we'll go ahead and get the Wizzy wheel out. Now, what I like to do is put a little thermal compound I'm just about out of those. I'm gonna have to order some more. This is the old Radio Shack kind. She's just about gone, but I put some down on the bottom of this ignition control module. Let me squeeze all I got out of there. And we'll just spread this around. And this just helps it to conduct the heat down to that plate. Keeping the heat out of it is important. It just takes a thin coating. Alright, now we have to put our seal in the end of it here. And so they give you this little seal. There, I got it open. So they give you this green one, and it's the same side to side. Oh. So now we just have to poke this down in here. Really good. Let me get a little screwdriver, and we'll poke that down in there. I'll just use the end of my test light to kind of poke that in and get past all the connectors. You don't have to get it all the way down. When you plug this back in, it'll push it down. So I'll go ahead and plug this in real quick. The right way, hopefully. Okay, and that pushes it down in there. So now we're ready to go ahead and mount this back on. Now I will go ahead and put this on first. Okay, now we're ready to sit this down here and put some coil packs in. Oh, we have to put our rubber things on for the coil packs too. So it comes with these 3 rubber things. And we'll put those down on here to just kind of help seal this up. Okay, now we're ready to put our first coil pack in, which will be 2 and 5. Okay, we're gonna put 1 screw in just to kind of help hold it, get it started. Oh, I hope I put the right size socket on. Yeah. Now, we'll just come down here and put our next coil pack on, which is 3 and 6. Next one now, which is 1 and 4. You just have to put our other screws in. These are kind of hard ones to reach, but you can get them. I just have to make sure they're tight. Alright, we're replaced. So now we're ready to do some plugs and wires.